listening to WCBN Sports, live from across the pond in London, England. Adam Bressler, joined by Charlie Brigham. And before we begin, we'd like to apologize for some technical difficulties. We know this audio quality is not quite up to what our listeners are used to, and we apologize, had some technical issues mere minutes before we went live. Had to make some adaptation very far away from our studio back in Ann Arbor. How are you doing today, Charlie?
I am doing fantastic, Adam. Thanks for leading us in again. My name is Charlie Brigham alongside Adam Bressler. We are just about set to go here in the O2 again. I want to apologize for any audio difficulties. As Adam said, we had some technical difficulties right before going live, but as always here at WCBN Sports, we're trying to give you the best quality broadcast that we can live here across the pond. You're listening to WCBN Sports here on YouTube. In just about a minute, we'll be going live over the FM airwaves as well. But looking forward to the game, the Michigan Wolverines taking on the Kentucky Wildcats, even the starting lineup for both sides. Kentucky is Wheeler, Reeves, Wallace, and Shipway, and then Browning takes out in the middle. Brother of Obi Toppin, wearing the number 0 jersey, it is Jacob Toppin. And on the side of the Michigan Wolverines, Kobe Buffkin, Jalen Llewellyn, Jet Howard, Terrence Williams II, and the man in the middle, Denny, 7'1", 260 pounds, to Hunter Dickens. Now, Adam, looking forward to this game. Obviously, we've seen our fair share of, Michigan and Kentucky basketball over these past few years. What are you looking forward to for this game today?
I'm looking forward to Michigan playing another big-time opponent in less than 5 days. Those who follow Michigan basketball remember on Tuesday they faced off against the third-ranked Virginia Cavaliers at home in Ann Arbor for the final appearance of the Big Ten ACC Challenge. Now these teams, Michigan faces off against another top 25 ranked team. They're playing the 19th ranked Kentucky Wildcats. And then later this month they will play UNC, who's currently 18th ranked. So a little bit of movement potential there. It's a big time opponent here. Michigan was unable to finish the job on Tuesday. Now they have the opportunity to come back against a ranked team at a neutral site, unlike home, put up a statement win and potentially make a case to be included back in the top 25 as they began the season.
So as Kentucky is being introduced, again, we are just about set to go. Would like to apologize for all the technical difficulties. But as we cross over now into the 1 p.m. hour time, over the FM airwaves at 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor. Anywhere from suburban Lansing all the way to suburban Detroit. We are just about set to go here. Again, would like to thank you all for tuning in, and apologies for the audio difficulties. Had some technical issues right before going live, but again, thank you all for tuning in. And also, if you're interested in more WCBN Sports coverage from the home front, at about 2 p.m. our time here in London, about 7 p.m. down there in the U.S., 6 and 7 o'clock. Make sure to tune in to WCBN Sports 2 for our coverage of the Michigan women's basketball Big Ten home opener as the Michigan women's basketball team faces off against the Northwestern Wildcats. Both teams have been introduced, and we are just about set to go. Again, the starting fives for both teams. For Michigan, Buffkin, Llewellyn, Howard, Williams II, and Dickinson. And for Kentucky, Wheeler, Reeves, Wallace, Toppin, and Shipway. And Adam is, obviously, the technical difficulties are not ideal, but what a trip it's been so far. A fast-paced trip. We flew in yesterday, met up with one of your good hometown friends in Washington, D.C. Showed us around, and he's in London for the semester studying abroad. It was quite the day. Got to see the USA soccer team play, got into the club. Got to take a look at locals, but here we go. The Cows have made their way all the way to London, England, all the way from Ann Arbor. They're showing up there on the screen, repping their Michigan jerseys. One of the Graybirds, one of the Juwan Howard. We're just about ready to tip off. Dickinson on the side for Michigan, standing in the circle. Michigan the all-maize today, Kentucky in the all-white, and Dickinson wins the tip-off. It'll be Llewellyn to bring it up the floor. Working one-on-one right against Severe Wheeler. Kick to the corner, now back up top, Dickinson. One dribble, hand off Llewellyn, two dribbles, hesitation, kick to the corner. Jet Howard, quick catch and shoot, three, and it'll go. Hot start for Michigan. The freshman's got his first 3 points. He's been fantastic all year long, making a name for himself as one of the best players on this Michigan lineup. Kentucky wasting no time, driving inside, dish off the top, and it will slam it down. Dickinson tried to step over, but Toppin showing you off his athleticism, going up and over the big man. Llewellyn now bringing it up the floor, working one-on-one against Wheeler. Wheeler a year ago, a Bob Cousy finalist for the best point guard in the nation, averaging 8.5 points a game and close to 7.5 assists. Howard kicks to the corner, now gets it back, fires another three, this one long. Rebound goes, and it's going to be Wallace who pulls it down, but then immediately turns it over, throwing it in the hands of Michigan head coach Juwan Howard. Terrence Williams will inbound from the side. Llewellyn working up. Dribbling one-on-one, he's got the left hand. Pass to the corner, Kobe Buffkin, his first touch of the day. Inside, Dickinson with a little turnaround left-handed floater, but it won't go. That one a bit too far off the back rim. Coming down in transition, Toppin, kick back. Swung all the way around. Wheeler now working one-on-one. Pass up top, it's going to be Wallace working on Buff. Calling for the pick and roll. Dickinson denies. Swung around the corner again. It's going to be Reeves on the right wing, guarded closely by Jet Howard. Shot clock ticking down to 10. Driving in with the left hand, and up and good. G-Way's first 2 points of this game. Score sits Kentucky 4, Michigan 3. Pass inside, this one for Dickinson. Trying to square up, driving inside, goes up a 2, and he's got it knocked away. Kentucky now coming down in transition, kickback pass up top. Driving in with left-handed floater, and that one falls in. 2 points for Wheeler. Nice little take there. Now Kentucky's got a 6-3 lead. Driving downhill is Jet Howard inside, playing physical. His shot won't go. Rebound pulled down by Shibwe. Michigan unable to find the bottom of the bucket here. Jet Howard with the lone 3 points. Driving downhill for Kentucky, it's Wheeler. Kick outside. Now Wallace working one-on-one against Kobe Buffkin. Drives hard with the right, goes back to the left, falls down. Kentucky wanted a foul, but Michigan's out and running. Buffkin, hesitation dribble, decides to pull it back out. Swung all the way around as Llewellyn now in front of the Kentucky bench. Dribbling towards the middle of the floor, a little lefty in and out. Shot fake, pulls through, pulls up a little floater, and it trickles in. They get 2 points for Michigan, and the lead comes to just 1, 6-5 Wildcats. Pass inside, it's Toppin. He's going to do a shirt around jumper and a nice little bucket there. Over the hands of Jet Howard. And Kentucky extends their lead even further. It's 8-5. Llewellyn up top, calls for the ball screen from Dickinson. Kick to the corner. Buffkin driving downhill with the left hand. Gets wrapped up. They're going to call a jump ball. It's going to go the way of the Wildcats. So Dickinson won the opening tip there. Llewellyn gets wrapped up. It'll be Kentucky ball coming down the other way. Their lead is 3, 8-5. Again, we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Apologies for some audio technical difficulties. We're trying our best to sort things out as we go. It's going to be Reeves up top, working one-on-one against Jet Howard. Pick and roll comes, feed inside for Toppin. His reverse layup won't go. Nice rebound by Dickinson. One pushing up on the left-hand side, now in front of the Kentucky bench. Right to left cross, kick to the corner. Jet Howard, one more. Kobe Buffkin's 3, that'll go! In points, 3 to the ground, and the lead is now gone, 8-8. Pass up top. Reeves, left to right cross on Buffkin. Gets it tipped away. Jet Howard falls to the floor. He pulls it down. Buffkin in transition. Had a 1-on-2, decided to pull it back out, and just throws an errant pass. It's going to go out of bounds. Timeout calls Kentucky. With 15:50 left to play, it is 8-8.
already 5 minutes into this game, and we're seeing Michigan is able to stay in this one so far thanks to their fantastic three-point shooting. That's been their struggles all season, is whether they're able to make their shots, and when they can, they're in it. They're putting up more points than they need to win, but the question is, can they stay hot, especially in crunch time? We saw that on Tuesday. Michigan had a hot streak, made several 3 points in a row, several deep twos in a row, and that was sufficient for Michigan to go in and keep it close against these other opponent teams, against Virginia on Wednesday, and so far Kentucky. However, what happened in the second half against Virginia? Well, anyone who tuned into that game or watched on television saw that Michigan was unable to finish the job because late in the game, it just brought in a much lower, much worse shooting percentage. And they just couldn't hang on to their lead that they built up in the first half when they were really hot. They were crawling to the finish line, but they went 6 straight minutes without making a single point from the field. I'm a little bit afraid that even though it's working now on the deep shots, late in the game they might fall to a very similar fate.
So as both teams take their timeout huddle, story of the game so far for Michigan has been the deep ball. They've struggled with it practically all season long, but 2 have dropped early, 1 off the hands of Jet Howard, and 1 falling into the hands of Kobe Buffkin. Both coaches trying to get things together. For Michigan, they've got scorers in the form of Llewellyn, Buffkin, and Jet Howard. Buffkin and Howard have 3 apiece. Llewellyn has 2, and on the side of Kentucky, Toppin leading the way with 4. Wheeler's got 2 of his own, and Sheblay has 2 of his own. Again, score tied 8-8 as we enter the first timeout. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan basketball live here from London, England. Again, apologies for the audio difficulties. We had some equipment malfunctions right before going live. We're doing our best to scrape together the best quality broadcast we can for you. Also, make sure to tune in about 50 minutes from now to WCBN Sports 2 as the Michigan women's basketball team faces off against Northwestern at home in their Big Ten home opener. The women's team has looked fantastic all season long, looking to extend their record to a perfect 9-0. So the horn sounds, and both teams will make their way out of their timeout. It's Toppin to inbound, and it'll be Wheeler to bring it up in the full court. Llewellyn guarding the ball up top. Pass now to Sheblay, working one-on-one against Dickinson. Dribble handoff, and now we'll go for a rescreen. Driving downhill, a foul call. That's Jet Howard. Going to get called for a hold, that one on the ground.
Michigan foul, starting against number 13, Jet Howard. That's his first.
It looks like they're going to say he was in the motion of shooting, so it's going to be Wheeler to head to the line and shoot a pair.
Kentucky, number 2, Sonny Wheeler. 2-2.
Dickinson and Terrence Williams the second. The big men down low to rebound for Michigan as the first rebound rims in and out. So Wheeler can't find the bottom on free throw number 1. Score remains tied 8-8. Again, his second free throw hits the front of the rim, back of the rim, and then finds its way to the hardwood. The score is still tied 8-8 as Wheeler goes 0 for 2 from the charity stripe. Llewellyn up top. Pass Terrence Williams. One dribble with the right hand. Now bounce pass inside for Hunter Dickinson. Working one-on-one. A lot of contact against Sheblay. Turnaround jumper from Dickinson off the back iron. A nice-looking shot, but just couldn't find the bottom. Kick to the corner. 3 in transition from Kentucky, and it goes. Reeves has his first 3 points of this ball game. The Kentucky lead back up to 3. 11-8 is the score. Dickinson up top. As some Go Big Blue chants start to ring throughout the O2. The Kentucky fans are getting loud. Williams working up top. Hesitation dribble, handoff to Buffkin. Shot clock down to 8. Driving downhill, wide open lane, and that's 2 points for Kobe Buffkin. 11-10 the score here. Kentucky again working one-on-one up top. They've been trying to isolate it in Llewellyn and Buffkin. Sheboy, pull-up jumper, top of the key, won't go. Dickinson, a nice contest there. Running out in transition is the Willen. Turning on the Jets, kick to the corner. Buffkin almost traveled, but he's able to keep his feet. Pass inside for Dickinson. Hook pass inside for Kobe Buffkin, and he's got 2 more.
Nice feed for Dickinson.
Kobe Buffkin now with a game-high 7 points. And has put Michigan out in front for the first time today. 11-12 is the score. Sheboy trying to drive downhill on Dickinson. Inside and blocked. Dickinson got beat off the bounce, but the great recovery from the 7'1" center. Llewellyn driving downhill. Inside and lays it up and in. He's fired up. Toppin came out of nowhere and tried to block it, but just couldn't quite get the hands on. 13:30 to play here in the half. Pass up top. It's going to be Wheeler. Driving downhill, had Dickinson beat, but decided to pull it back. Sheboy's 3 from the top of the key won't go. Howard now to push in transition after pulling down the rebound. Hesitation dribble, goes left to right. Follow up 3 and it won't go, but he was fouled.
Kentucky fouls on 0. Jacob Toppin.
Nice move there by Jet Howard, and now he'll go to the line and shoot 3 free throws.
Michigan once again able to stay in this ball game by making their tough shots. Currently leading by 3 with a chance to extend even further. Howard from the line.
13, Chet Howard.
Taking
Shooting
3 shots since it was beyond the arc. First one is up. Rims around and lands. Michigan now leads 15-11. 2 more coming. Michigan's bringing the offense right out of the gate. No jet lag whatsoever from the Wolverines. Have not played a game since Tuesday night as the second shot goes in as well. 16-11, Michigan extends their lead to 5.
Chris Livingston for Kentucky.
Substitution on the other side from Kentucky.
Doug McDaniel. And Will Pecker in the game.
Howard's preparing for his final shot. Bends down, goes up, and makes it. That's all 3 points as Michigan now leads by 6.
The lead 17-11 here for the Maize and Blue. Sheboy comes up top, sets a ball screen for Wheeler. Had a few substitutions on both ends. Will Cheddar is checked in for the Michigan Wolverines, as well as Doug McDaniel. Speaking of McDaniel, running in transition. Pass up to Kobe Buffkin. Nice up and under layup, but it just rims out. Kentucky wasting no time running in transition now, and that's going to be a foul called, second on Jet Howard. Wheeler blew by him. Howard turned around and tried to tip it out, but he was called for a quick whistle. He'll now go to the bench with 2 fouls. It'll be Joey Baker, the graduate transfer from Duke, to check in. A lot of contact down low between Cheddar and Livingston before things have even gotten going here. Lob pass in from Frederick. Finds the hands of Collins. Working one-on-one against Will Cheddar. Has it tipped away. Will have to reset. Pass up top for Wheeler. Shot clock under 20. Doug McDaniel guarding the ball. Gets beat off the dribble. Pass inside for Sheboy. Turning up. Facing the basket. Can't get it to go. Pulls down his own rebound and he's fouled. Dickinson going to be called for the foul there, and he is unhappy with that one.
Michigan fouls on number 42.
Correction, looks like Will Cheddar is going to be checked for the foul. So Cheddar pulls down 1 after about only 30 seconds of being in this ballgame. Kentucky struggled at the line so far today. Sheboy will go and shoot his first pair and puts it off the front of the rim. So 17-11, still the score here with 12:36 left to play in the first half. Sheboy's second shot is up, and it'll go. He needed every part of the rim for help, but was able to put it home. Another substitution for Kentucky. It's going to be on Yeso checking in. Doug McDaniel to bring it up in transition. He's working one-on-one against Severe Wheeler. Double high ball screen on a horn set. Kicks to the corner. Joey Baker catch and shoot 3, and that one's too far. Nice play call for Michigan. Now Kentucky out and running, and what a block by Kobe Bufkin. Livingston went up to slam it home with 2, and Bufkin came out of nowhere and put it back. Loses his dribble, pass up top for McDaniel. Reset for Michigan now. McDaniel dribbles with the left hand, pull up jumper, that one off the back iron. Fight for the loose ball down low, and it's Kentucky that pulls it in. Nice rebound there from Collins. Under 12 minutes to play in the half, and we have a carry call. This one on Wheeler. It's going to be a turnover in Michigan. We'll get lead. It's 17-15 here at the O2.
They need to do to stay in this ball game. They're playing on both sides of the possession. Offense are making their shots, distributing it, not relying exclusively on deep threats like they did on Tuesday, mixing it up both in the paint and from beyond the arc. While on defense, they're playing very tight, at times drawing fouls, sending the opponent to the line, but that's what they need to do if they need to keep winning. So Michigan is just really doing what needs to be done to stay in this game, up 17-12 at the moment, as they are attempting to bring down the number 19 team in the nation. Would like to mention kind of the environment here at the O2 Arena in London, England. Kind of like a celebration of basketball. We've seen fans in random NBA jerseys. We've seen fans in Lakers and Magic and Spurs jerseys. So very interesting. Other colleges too outside of the Wolverines and Wildcats represented. Kind of reminds me of when the NFL comes to London a couple times each season. You kind of see the same dynamic where people just celebrate American football regardless of if their team in particular is playing. We kind of see that here. We had a game earlier that came down to the Maine, and ultimately Morris won by 1 point, but it came down to some free throws at the end there. We'll see whether this Michigan-Kentucky game is able to match.
So both teams just about a minute out in front, leading the way for the Wolverines. And pretty much every category has been Kobe Bufkin, who has came out of this game with a fire lit under him. 3 for 4 from the field, 1 of 1 for downtown for 7 points. Also toss in a huge block and a steal to his resume. On the side of Kentucky, it's Jacob Toppin leading the way and Oscar Shibwe leading the way in rebounds with 4 and 3 respectively. So as Adam was saying, sort of a celebration of basketball as some young fans behind us, 2 of them in Chicago Bulls jersey, one wearing a Luka Doncic jersey, another wearing an Orlando Magic Dwight Howard jersey. I mean, there are all sorts of fans here today just coming together to enjoy the game of basketball. But the whistle sound and we are about set to go. 12 minutes to play in the half. It is Michigan out in front. For the Wolverines, it's going to be McDaniel, Bufkin, Baker, Reed Jr., and Cheddar on the floor. And for Kentucky, Frederick, Wheeler, Livingston, Collins, and Onyensu. Here we go, pass inside. It's going to be McDaniel working up top. Pass over to Joey Baker and an offensive foul called first. This one coming on Will Cheddar. That's his second. Called for a moving screen down low.
That's his second personal team score.
Cheddar so far, no points, no rebounds, 2 fouls. It'll be Wheeler to bring it up in transition. He's yet to leave the floor for the Wildcats. A couple more substitutions in as Frederick cuts hard off a screen. Ball screen coming up top for Livingston, rejects it. Kick outside for Frederick now. He had some space but decides to put it on the floor. Now he'll get a dribble handoff after passing to the middle. Driving downhill. Has it stolen away, but he gets it back. 6 seconds left in the shot clock now. 5, 4, 3, 2. Wheeler's got to get a shot up. Awkward turnaround jumper, and it goes. The 3 ball into 15 if it stands. The referees are going to go to the table and take a second look at this one. It's real close, and according to the replay they put up there on the board, it is more than well off. What a shot from Wheeler.
The players confirmed throw for Wheeler for Kentucky.
And the announcement confirms our suspicions. The bucket will count, so the lead cut to 2, 17-15. It's Michigan out in front. Kentucky coming up, showing a little bit of pressure. It's Wheeler who just hit that turnaround jumper. Bufkin off the dribble, handoff from Doug McDaniel, driving downhill with the left. Spins back up top, kick to the corner. Will Cheddar, shot fake, dribbles once with the right hand. Now trying to back his man down to the post. Puts up a shot and it's blocked. Onyenso right there to slap it away, and Kentucky out and running. Wheeler driving downhill, fouled hard, and he'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's going to be Reed Jr. called for the whistle there. Wheeler still on the ground, laying on his stomach. He hit the ground hard, and he's yet to get up. Can't quite see from our angle. Now he's up on his feet and walking, holding his right arm close to his body. We'll keep you updated on any word we get on him. So as Wheeler heads to the bench, we'll be interested to see who shoots these free throws, as he was fouled on that drive inside. Kentucky just 1 for 4 from the line so far today, as the referees have a word with Juwan Howard. And now they're asking Coach Howard to pick who he wants to shoot, and it's going to be Onyenso to go to the line and shoot a pair. Some Kentucky fans yelling, "Make it hurt." Onyenso's first free throw, up and good, nothing but net. And Coach Howard shakes his head as he might have picked the wrong man to shoot. That free throw makes it 2 for 5 from the line today for Kentucky, and the lead for Michigan is now cut to 1, 17-16, the score here in the O2. Free throw number 2. Up and rattles in. Another substitution. Onyenso will check out after knocking those 2 free throws home. And Shibwe will head back in. Kentucky coming out in a bit of a press. It's Wallace up full court, putting pressure on Llewellyn. Pass inside. Dickinson up with the left hand, fighting through contact. He wanted a foul, won't get it, but able to put the layup home. 19-17, the lead back to 2. Kick to the corner now. Kentucky driving downhill. Right-handed floater from Livingston, won't go. Kicks it out. Shibwe pulls down the rebound. Kick outside for Wallace now. Over right. Correction. Michigan at 6 fouls for the half, just 1 away from putting Kentucky in the bonus. It'll be Frederick to inbound. Doug McDaniel trying to apply pressure. Gets it inside, and that's going to be an easy 2 points. Great cut there by Livingston, and Kentucky's earned their lead back. First time in a while. 10-12 left to play here in the half. 19-19 the score. Llewellyn, kickback pass for Terrence Williams, driving with the right hand. Pass to the corner for McDaniel. Little dribble move, kicks back up top. Williams the second for 3! He holds it up and lets the whole arena know Michigan back out in front, 22-19 the score. Pull-up jumper, that one won't go. Tipped out of the hands of Hunter Dickinson. That one's going to go the other way. It was Shibwe crashing from behind and poked the hands of Hunter Dickinson.
Number 25, Jace Howard.
Quick substitution, Jace Howard will check in. He'll send Kobe Bufkin to the bench. First action that Howard's had today, and there's a foul. Terrence Williams, the second, will go to the line and shoot 2. That foul is going to be on Frederick.
Kentucky fouls on C.J. Frederick. His first personal, 17 foul against the Wildcats.
That foul from Frederick, only the second of the half for Kentucky. Michigan, on the other hand, has been in foul trouble pretty much the entire half. 6 fouls, 1 away from putting Kentucky in the bonus. Couple deep breaths from Williamson. And the first free throw from Williams won't go. 3 for 4 now from the line today are the Wolverines for a cool 75%. Terrence Williams takes a few deep breaths. Free throw number 2, up and off the back iron. Michigan now 3 for 5 on the day. So following the 2 missed free throws, it'll be Kentucky to bring it up. Jace Howard guarding the ball up top. It's Wallace, and there's a whistle. It's going to be on Doug McDaniel. He held Frederick coming off the screen, and now Frederick will go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1. Kentucky is in the bonus.
Michigan fouls on 0, Doug McDaniel. That's his first, team 7th. Kentucky is in the bonus.
So Frederick will go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1. First one up and off the back iron. The free throw woes continue for Kentucky. It'll be Llewellyn to bring it up in transition, guarded by Frederick, who just missed that free throw moments ago. Ball screen coming from Terrence Williams. Llewellyn dribbling over to the right side, passes to Jace Howard in the corner. Wanted Dickinson inside, passes back out for Llewellyn, whose shot is way off the mark. An air ball to the left-hand side. Sheboy was there to contest. Now it's going to be a transition 3 from Frederick. It won't go. 22-19, still the score here. Both teams have been unable to find the bottom of the bucket. Under 9 minutes to play in the half. McDaniel kicks over to Llewellyn. A nice behind-the-back dribble move, but it won't go. It's going to be Wallace now, pushing in transition. Saw Llewellyn and decide to pull it back. Pass inside, Sheboy. Michigan wants to travel. Up with the right hand and good. Got 2 Michigan players to jump and held his composure and put it up and in. So the lead cut to 1 for Michigan. 22-21 the score. Pass inside Dickinson. Up with the left hand. Misses his layup. Tried to get his own rebound. But it's Wallace to come from behind and poke it out. Wanted Sheboy in transition. Passes up to Fredrickson. Now Wallace gets it back. Michigan wanted a carry on the behind-the-back move, and Doug McDaniel pokes it away. Pass up top, Sheboy. 18 seconds left in the shot clock. Wallace calls for a ball screen. Sheboy going to get a handoff, and now he's going to be whistled and called for a travel.
Timeout on the floor.
So as Michigan holds a 22-21 lead, they will get the ball following the under 8-minute timeout, following the travel call. But Adam, looking your way, this game has been pretty back and forth so far. What have you seen so far from both Michigan and on the side of the Kentucky Wildcats?
Let's begin with the Michigan side, being Michigan Student Radio. What is going well for the Wolverines? They're able to distribute the ball, have great ball movement on offense, put it up, and their shots are landing in a way that we haven't seen quite like it this season, except maybe the first half of that Virginia game. What's not going well? How about the fouling? They're already in the bonus, and that was before the under 8 timeout. That's not a good look for the Wolverines, especially if it remains neck and neck at the end of this first half. I guess another good news is that the Wildcats are unable to make their free throws. So even though they're in the bonus, they haven't been able to pull away with it, and Michigan actually retains a 1-point lead, but it's been neck and neck here. I guess for Kentucky, the biggest strength has been their size in the paint and ability to put the ball in the basket on the layups. But then once again, they've struggled from the free throw line, and they likely would have a comfortable lead at this point if they have been able to make all the points that they would have received if they went to the line and trained their shots. So it's easier said than done, but you kind of expect it, especially between these Power 5 SEC Big Ten teams, for those shots to be automatic. So when they're not, it definitely stands out like a sore thumb.
So both teams just a minute away from breaking their timeout huddles. Again, we'd like to thank you all for listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan basketball live here from the O2 Arena in London, England. Both here on YouTube and over the FM airwaves at 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor. In about a half hour's time, make sure to tune over to WCBN Sports 2 to listen to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan women's basketball as they face off against Northwestern in the Big Ten home opener. The Michigan women's team looking to extend their record to a perfect 9-0, a gritty win the other day over a tough team in Miami, down in Miami for the Big Ten ACC Challenge. The whistle sounds, it'll be Michigan ball to come out of the timeout. Again, Kentucky traveled, turned it over right before the under 8 timeout. To quickly set the stage, Michigan leads 22-21, but they are in foul trouble. Kentucky already in the bonus with about 8 minutes left to go. They come out in a sort of stretch full court man-to-man press, and it's going to be Llewellyn to get it. And immediately Wheeler backs right off. Llewellyn left to right behind the back, lost it for a second, but now gets it back cleanly. Dribbling up top, pass to Terrence Williams in the corner, who started falling out of bounds. An athletic play keeps the drive alive. Pass inside. Dickinson squaring up. Cross-court pass. Kobe Buffkin, shot fake, dribbling downhill with the left hand now. Floater won't go, but he's fouled. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Michigan with a chance to extend their lead. They've been shooting a little bit better from the line than Kentucky, but not much. They still have some missed shots. Currently, they're 3 for 5 compared to 3 for 7 for the Wildcats. Able to extend their lead here a little bit. They're able to land some. Takes a dribble, puts out the first one. That'll land. Michigan extends their lead to 2 points. Waiting the final shot. Goes pretty quiet. Goes down, it's in the air. Nothing but net there, and Wolverines now extend their lead back to 3 points.
Michigan now coming out in a little bit of full court pressure of their own. It was Llewellyn and Buffkin up top, driving inside downhill. It's Kentucky, it's going to be tipped out of bounds. They're going to discuss for a brief moment. It's going to stay Wildcats ball underneath the basket. Severe Wheeler was that nice little dribble move to get down low. Reeves to inbound, gets it to Wheeler now in this near corner. Working one-on-one against Llewellyn. Pass up top now for Wallace. Wallace working one-on-one against Jace Howard. Kick to the corner for Wheeler. Dribbles it back up top. Under 10 seconds left in the shot clock. There's going to be a whistle call and then an offensive foul. Looks like it was Livingston down low. There was a lot of contact between him and Terrence Williams. But ultimately, Livingston gets called for the foul, and he's going to be subbed out quickly. It'll be Damian Collins to check in.
Damian Collins checks in for the Wildcats.
So Kentucky has succeeded the full court pressure. They've just dropped back into the half court. Llewellyn dribbles inside, pass to Dickinson, who's been relatively quiet so far with only 2 points. He passes cross court for Llewellyn, goes up, fights through a lot of contact, wanted a foul call, but he won't get it. Kentucky driving in transition. Michigan is scoreless in their last 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Dickinson pulls down a rebound. Wallace was there trying to grab it out of his hands, but Dickinson using his strength to pull it away. 6:30 left to play here in the half. Pass inside for Dickinson again. Pulls up. Too far off the back iron. Only 2 points so far in this half for Hunter Dickinson. Wallace drives downhill, gets to the middle of the paint. Kick out now. Pass back outside. Wallace is going to put up a 3, and it's good. Nice little dribble handoff there between Wallace and Collins. And Kentucky ties it back up. It's 24-24. Dickinson outside, wanted to throw the pass inside to Buffkin, but he turns it over, and Kentucky gives it right back. Michigan gets a lucky break there. Isaiah Barnes will check in for the first time today. He'll send Jace Howard to the bench. So Dickinson tried to pass to a cutting Kobe Buffkin and threw it right into the hands of Severe Wheeler, who tried to push it out in transition and put it off his own foot. Llewellyn gets it cleanly off the pass from Terrence Williams. Gives it to Buffkin, who gives it right back. Llewellyn working inside. Handoff. Dickinson. Cross-court pass. Isaiah Barnes, who just checked in from the corner, and he knocks down a 3. 27-24 the score here. The Wolverines out in front. 5:30 to play in the half. Lob pass inside. Stolen away by Llewellyn. Nice athletic play there. Kick up. Dickinson in transition up with the left hand through contact, and it'll go. Athletic finish from Hunter Dickinson. Went up on the right side, finished on the left, and the lead now extended to 5. It's Wheeler working up top, passes to Sheboy. Dickinson giving him plenty of space up there at the top of the key. Hand off to Wheeler, driving downhill, kick to the corner. Wallace now back up top. 3 ball coming from Reeves, and it'll go. Both teams have turned it on here from behind the arc, and the Michigan lead is cut to 2. 29-27 the score here in the O2. Llewellyn up top, kicks to Dickinson at the elbow. 1 dribble handoff. Buffkin showed his shot. Lob pass inside for Dickinson, up with the left hand, and it'll go. He was quiet for most of this first half, but that's 4 points in about the last minute and a half for Hunter Dickinson. 4:30 to play in the half. Michigan leads by 4, 31-27. Driving downhill with the left hand is Wheeler. Passes inside for Sheboy. I mean, that is just textbook work from the big man down low. Spins over his right shoulder and up with the left hand for 2 points. 31-29 the score. Michigan still out in front. 4 minutes to play. Llewellyn dribbling to the corner. Now spins back up top with the right hand. Stepping out. Wants Dickinson inside. Gets it to him. Bounce pass. Dickinson now dribbles. Trying to collect himself. Long cross-court pass to Buffkin. Buffkin to the corner. Isaiah Barnes. Another 3. Why not? Barnes has been in the game for about 2 minutes and is already making his case to be the leading scorer for this Michigan Wolverines team. He's got 6 points. Wheeler up top, pass. Awkward jump shot from the corner. That one coming off the hands of Antonio Reeves, and he won't get it to go. A whistle call as they're going to check on an injured Michigan player. Looks to be Kobe Buffkin over there, kind of bent over in front of the scorer's table. Buffkin was right in front of the Michigan bench on that possession on the defensive end, and then as they started going in transition, he just kind of keeled over in front of the Michigan bench.
This would be really tragic if the Wolverines are unable to rely on Buffkin. So far he's their leading scorer and leading in assists as well in this game. He's leading in assists on the season as also, and steals. He's really a player who can do it all and is huge for the Wolverines. Hoping that this injury is just a quick one and he'll be back in later this game. Wolverines starting to put on the accelerator in terms of points and scoring. And what's really interesting in this game so far is they are spreading it out. Usually when Michigan is able to get the offense moving, it's off of Hunter Dickinson. But so far Dickinson, as you mentioned, Charlie, he turned it up in the past 2 minutes. But prior to that, he kind of struggled a little bit. Only 2 points on the entire half in the first close to 15 minutes of the game. Then he got 2 shots in a row. But what that does mean is Michigan is doing a fantastic job distributing it beyond just Dickinson. We've seen Llewellyn really take it on some fast breaks. We've seen Barnes make 2 threes already. As I mentioned earlier, Buffkin has 9 points. Terrence Williams also has a 3. So Michigan is really distributing it both in the paint, beyond the arc, and they're not having to rely solely on Dickinson, which is something that would make this a much more rounded, well-rounded team when entering Big Ten play later this month.
The score sits 34-29 in favor of the Michigan Wolverines with 3:19 left to play here in the half. Kobe Buffkin leading the way for Michigan with 9 points. Hunter Dickinson leading the way on the rebounding end with 4. And Jalen Llewellyn with 3 assists. On the side of Kentucky, it has been the Sheepway show. 7 points and 6 rebounds for the big man. That's going to be Wallace leading the way on the assist front with 3 of his own. So looking around the O2 here, it is definitely a sea of blue with the blue seats, but of course trickled in is both Navy and Royal. Michigan fans in Kentucky would say about 50-50 spread out here through the stands. Some definite pops of maize that stick out from the crowd. Again, we'd like to thank you all for listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan basketball live here on YouTube, internationally, and also locally over the FM airwaves at 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor. If you're interested for more WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan women's basketball, make sure to tune in to WCBN Sports 2 in about 16 minutes at 2 p.m. our time at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as the Michigan women's team faces off against Northwestern in the Big Ten home opener. It'll be Terrence Williams to inbound on the half court. Kobe Buffkin, after being a little shaken up, is still in the ball game. Comes off a quick screen, pulls up, jumper, and it won't go. Terrace Reed tried to pull down the rebound, but he couldn't grab it. Running out in transition now is Kentucky. Antonio Reeves pushing down right in front of the Michigan bench. Bounce pass inside for Sheway, working one-on-one against Reed Jr. Beautiful move, and he gets it to go. Faked over the left shoulder, spun back over the right, and an easy bucket. Llewellyn now to bring it up in transition. The Michigan lead cut to 3, 34-31. Llewellyn hands it off. Now we'll get it back off a handoff and puts a three ball way off the right-hand side, hitting nothing but the backboard. Michigan has been hot and cold all day from beyond the arc. It's really varied minute to minute. Pulling down the rebound is Isaiah Barnes. When you talk about people who've been hot from beyond the arc, you have to throw his name out there. Perfect 2 for 2 as he stepped into this ball game. Floater from Llewellyn, won't go. Kick to the corner, 3 in transition for Reeves on the side of Kentucky. We're tied up here in the O2. 2 minutes to play in the half, 34-34. This game has been back and forth all game long. Buffkin's got a little bit of shake to him, working up top. Left-hand dribble, step back. That ball off the front of the rim won't go. Reed Jr. pulling down the rebound. Spinning, dribbling with the right hand, and he's going to be called for a travel. He had his man beat, but was about a bit too fast for the ball. Put down his first dribble, and the ball got caught on his back right hip before he could go to the second. 1:44 to play here in the half. Again, the score tied. Michigan 34, Kentucky 34. Should be noted that Kentucky is in the bonus. Michigan sitting on 17 fouls. Up top, it's Wheeler. Working one-on-one against Llewellyn. Pass inside for Sheway, and it's going to be a foul call, looks like. It's going to be on Hunter Dickinson. They're going to say he caught him on the back.
His second personal team foul number 8 against the Wolverines.
Correction, that foul is going to go on to Llewellyn. So Dickinson has had about 3 plays that have been real close to being fouls called for him, but he's escaped unharmed on all 3 of them. The 1-and-1, Sheway knocks down the first, and Kentucky takes their first lead in a while. 35-34 the score here. 1:32 left to play in the half. Sheway, the first player on either side to enter double digits. He's got 10 points and just 3 rebounds away from a double-double. Second free throw goes. Sheway now 2 for 4 from the line after missing poorly on the first 2. Has redeemed himself as he knocks down his second pair. Pass to Dickinson on the wing. Hand off. Isaiah Barnes dribbling with the left. Gives it to Buffkin. Buffkin driving downhill now on a whistle quickly. It's going to be on the floor. Kentucky's got fouls to give. Just their 5th team foul of the half. Sheway picks up his first foul there. It's going to be Michigan ball to inbound on the side. The shot clock will reset to 20 seconds. Isaiah Barnes to inbound. Gets it in cleanly to Doug McDaniel. Pass to the corner for Buffkin, who gets it right back. McDaniel dribbling in front of the Kentucky bench. Pass up top for Buffkin. Inside, Dickinson dribbles once with the right hand. Spins around with the left, and he puts it down. Dickinson wants the push-off call. He definitely is not crazy in asking for it, and there's a foul called there on the offensive end. Dickinson sold it well. Sheway hit him up in the face. Might have been a bit of a makeup call for the missed shooting foul on the other end.
That's his second. 2 against the Wildcats.
Coach Howard wants him to go to the table to review it for a flagrant. It was definitely an elbow up into the face of Dickinson. And now a whistle. The referees will confer and head to the table. Adam, I would not be surprised if this one got upgraded to a flagrant 1.
I don't know. I'm looking at the review, and I think maybe asking them to look at it, they might give an offsetting to Dickinson because he was putting his hands on it. They were both getting in each other's faces. I guess it was finished by Shibwe when he put the hand right in his head and kind of pushed him to the ground. But definitely some bad blood between the two big men on these teams. Each of them are core components of their offenses, leading their teams, and I'm seeing this replay. I don't know if it'll be a flagrant or not, but I think they'll keep it as it stands.
Some boos from the crowd. The call will stay as stands, but I wouldn't have been surprised. Cameron Williams on the women's side for Michigan got called for something similar, some incidental contact the other day. It was upgraded to an intentional foul. Kobe Buffkin driving downhill, pull-up floater with the left hand will go, and an offensive foul called here. This one on Hunter Dickinson. Some cheers from the crowd as they're unhappy with him flopping on the other end. So Dickinson finally picks up his first foul. Michigan now with 9 team fouls. Kentucky 1 foul away from putting Michigan in the bonus. Michigan 1 foul away from putting Kentucky in the double bonus.
Kentucky is in the bonus.
So 47.2 seconds left in the half, under a minute to play. The score tied, 36-36. The lead has changed more times than I can count this half. It's going to be Damian Collins, the sophomore from Atlanta. And his first shot drops down. Taking his time, second free throw, up and it won't go. Williams pulls down the rebound. A 1-point lead here for the Wildcats. 40 seconds to play in the half. Pass to Isaiah Barnes, guarded closely by Frederick. Now swung up top, Williams, handoff, Doug McDaniel, calling for the ball screen from Hunter Dickinson. McDaniel showing off the dribble moves, pass inside for Williams. Dickinson, pull-up jumper from the corner, won't go. 22 seconds left in the half. Kentucky's going to hold for 1 here. They've got a 1-point lead. 15 seconds to play now. Dribbling it out is Wheeler. McDaniel guarding the ball up top. Under 10 seconds to play in the half. Driving downhill. Wheeler kicks. Blocked. Terrence Williams is second with a mean block down low, and he stares him down. Collins went up to throw it home. And Terrence Williams caught every single piece of that ball. It's going to be Kentucky ball on the inbound underneath with 3.3 seconds left, and the Wildcats are going to elect to call a timeout and draw something up.
Not a lot you could do with only 3.3. Get maybe a pass and then a shoot. Depends on how you set up the formation. It doesn't have to be just a catch and shoot. You got enough time for maybe one thing there, but you can't really set any picks. You can't really dribble it too much. Got to basically catch it from the inbound, distribute it, and then put it up and pray it goes in. It's been neck and neck all first half. Kentucky looking to add to their lead. Spent most of the half actually trailing Michigan. Able to bounce back due to some key three-point shots late in this first half and some luck at the line. Something they have not been able to fully count on all afternoon.
So both teams break their timeouts. It's going to be Kaysen Wallace to inbound underneath for Kentucky. Kentucky trying to set up a double ball screen. Pass up top. It's going to be Wheeler to take the last shot. Puts it up off the front of the rim. Won't go. Horn sounds, and we head to the half. It's been back and forth for the past half hour, but Kentucky out in front. 37 to 36 as we head to the halftime locker rooms. As some fans here in the O2 head to grab some snacks, would like to thank you all for listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan men's basketball live here from the O2 in London, England, as Michigan faces off against number 19 Kentucky. I'd like to also thank you for listening on the FM airwaves in local Ann Arbor at 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor. Also, if you're interested in Michigan women's basketball coverage, head over to WCBN Sports 2 here on YouTube, as their coverage has started there from Chrysler Center. The Michigan women's team looking to extend their record to a perfect 9-0 as they face off against the Northwestern Wildcats in the Big Ten home opener.
We have one Wildcats on this side of the Atlantic versus the Wolverines. Then the Wolverines are playing a second set of Wildcats, the Northwestern Wildcats, on the other side of the Atlantic. So thank you for tuning in today for this one, for the men's team facing off Kentucky. If you would like to tune in, starting at 2 p.m., Michigan's women's basketball team playing the Northwestern Wildcats back in Ann Arbor. They're 8-0 as they begin Big Ten play and hope to stay undefeated. They look really special so far this season. For those just tuning in, Michigan is trailing, but only by 1 point for the neck-and-neck game so far. Michigan trailing 37-36. Michigan's top shooter has been Kobe Buffkin with 9 points. Dickinson, despite a slow start, has gotten 8 points on this game, able to build it up. He's shooting 4 for 9 from the field, which is much lower than his average percentage. We had a very quiet game from Howard so far. Not a ton of minutes, but in his absence, we've had Barnes really step up, and we'll get a crucial 3 to give Michigan some lead earlier. Wildcat Shibwe is leading both in points and rebounds. I don't think that's a surprising position for him to be in. He's 11 points and 7 rebounds. While Wallace is leading in assists, only 3 assists, but that's the team lead. Kobe Buffkin leading in assists for the Wolverines. A little bit of an injury scare earlier. And Dickinson leading in the rebounds for the Wolverines with 4. He is also leading on this season in rebounds, just under 10 per game, 9.1. So almost averaging the double-double on the season. We'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to WCBN for this game. We know this is on ABC, so a lot of options to watch today's game. This is the first time Michigan has appeared on ABC since, I believe, the 1997 March Madness. So it's been quite a while. Michigan, usually, we've been on ESPN quite a bit, sister network of ABC, but not on the mainline ABC channel in quite a bit. Very interesting how these two teams got chosen to play in this, I guess, invitational is what I'll say, this special. It's not quite a tournament, it's just a single game for all the teams. But 3 years ago, Michigan and Kentucky agreed to a home and neutral, and it was supposed to be in Lexington in 2020, in Ann Arbor in 2021, and then in London in 2022. Ultimately, due to COVID, Michigan never traveled to Lexington in 2020, and then in 2021, when the season was more or less normal, at least on the court, it was more or less normal. Kentucky decided to not hold up their end of the bargain to go to Ann Arbor, since the Wolverines did not go to Kentucky. So they decided to scrap the home and home component of that series and just focus on the international game in London. I'm sure both teams have boosters and alumni who are more than willing to travel across the pond to come see their teams play. looking around, it looks to be probably 60-40 Kentucky fans compared with Michigan fans. Still a lot of people wearing maize in attendance here. It's tough when people are wearing dark blue. You don't quite know what team they're supporting. Shade of blue for Kentucky is a little bit brighter than the shade of blue for the Wolverines. But as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, this has also been an opportunity just to celebrate the game of basketball here in London. Looking around, seeing a lot of NBA jerseys. We saw some Lakers jerseys earlier, seen a couple of Magic jerseys, so Spurs jerseys as well. Not the Tottenham Hotspurs, but the San Antonio Spurs. Have to specify that here in London. But great turnout. I'm wondering if any Michigan fans who were maybe willing to come to the game, fly across the pond, made a last-minute cancellation and rerouted their flights to Indianapolis to go to the Big Ten Football Championship. Surely that wasn't a guarantee until this time last week when Michigan beat Ohio State on the road. For those who were unable to tune in, the Wolverines took care of business against Purdue last night, and they will be playing TCU in the Fiesta Bowl. It is finalized. So Michigan finalized their rankings at the 2 spot. TCU, a little bit of a question mark with the overtime loss where they would end up. They ultimately stayed at the 3 spot. I'd love your thoughts on this. I know this is a basketball broadcast, but we cover all things Michigan. First, as we cross into that 2 o'clock hour, let's do a station identification. Thank you for tuning in to WCBN FM Ann Arbor 88.3. Also at 2, we have the women's basketball game about to tip off, so want to plug that as well. After that, go to WCBN 2 to listen to that. But I'll throw it over to you, Charlie, because I want your thoughts. Do you think Ohio State deserved 4? Do they deserve to go into the playoffs? And if so, do they deserve to leapfrog TCU, who has the same record as them?
So you go around the world. I don't think anyone is arguing with Georgia at 1. I don't think anyone's arguing with Michigan at 2. And then again, it was kind of a question mark. TCU looked like they were going to be a lock all year if they kept that perfect, 12-0 record, if they had made it that far. But TCU slipping into the 3 spot, as for Michigan fans, has to be the ideal scenario. Because arguably out of the 4 in the playoff right now, Georgia, Michigan, TCU, and OSU, TCU has to be the weakest link there. So for Michigan fans at home and around the world, TCU has to be the ideal spot at 3. And then the real question mark is that 4 spot. Because you look, obviously it ended up going to Ohio State, but it could have gone to any number of teams. Ohio State, it could have gone to USC, it could have gone to Alabama, it could have gone to LSU, depending on the outcome of the SEC championship game. But realistically, kind of everyone in that spot that could have slipped in at 4, there was a case to be made for why they didn't deserve it and a case to be made why they did deserve it. And they just kind of tore each other apart.
Another consideration that a lot of pundits are thinking about is those matchups. So it's a seeded tournament style bracket. So 1 plays 4 and 2 plays 3. We saw last year that they don't like to have in-conference rematches back-to-back if they could help it. We saw last year where Alabama ended up beating Georgia in the SEC championship, and that gave Bama the 1 seed, and they gave Georgia 3 ultimately instead of 4 because they didn't want that first-round rematch. I think there's very similar logic with OSU and Michigan. I know it wasn't a conference matchup, but 2 weeks ago, so essentially a conference championship. I think everyone who was watching kind of treated that as the Big Ten championship protege. But I don't think they wanted that rematch in the quarterfinals. If OSU's able to go essentially into Georgia's home territory win on the road. They're playing in Atlanta. That it's not technically Georgia's home stadium, but for all intents and purposes it is. If they're able to go on the road and win there, and then Michigan is able to beat TCU, that could be the biggest college football game of all time. For a national championship, heated rivals wanting redemption. I think everyone who claims to be a college football fan would be excited about that one.
I don't think there's anyone in the college football world besides maybe Georgia Bulldog fans who would be upset by a Michigan-Ohio State national championship game. I mean, that's the stuff dreams are made of if you're a college football fan. But yeah, Adam, I agree. I think the committee to avoid those matchups just for entertainment purposes, really, and drawing as many numbers as you can. Obviously, Georgia, OSU in the first round is going to be a hot commodity. OSU at times has had the most explosive offense in all of college football, and I mean, Georgia's Georgia, right? They're the 1 seed for a reason. They've been fantastic all season long. And yeah, I agree with your point that, at least for our purposes, and it seemed like everyone else who's a Big Ten fan, aside from maybe the Purdue Boilermaker fans at home, that Michigan-OSU game in Columbus this year at the Horseshoe, which WCBN covered, really felt like the Big Ten championship game, because obviously the winner of that game would advance to the actual Big Ten championship. But as you know, this year and the past years have showed, the Big Ten West has been less than strong. And so I think it'll be really interesting to see how things shake out. Obviously, wherever we go, WCBN Sports will be there covering the games. And I guess I'll throw it out there now. With all the traveling that we've done this year, both around the country for college football, across the world for college basketball, we're running our budget pretty thin, so just stay up to date on our Twitter. We might be trying to put together a little bit of a fundraiser to make sure we can go where we want to go. It looks like we'll end up in Phoenix for the first round of the college football playoff, and then should Michigan make it that far, WCBN Sports will be traveling out to Los Angeles to SoFi Stadium. So again, just be tuned in to our Twitter, twitter.com/WCBN Sports, and Instagram.com/WCBN Sports Radio. Also over on TikTok. Just go to TikTok, hit your search bar, and type in WCBN Sports. And just to stay up to date on all things WCBN. But with that, both teams come out of the halftime locker room with 3 minutes until second half coverage resumes. And Adam, I want to hear your keys to the game so far. It's been back and forth all game long. Kentucky currently holds the lead 37-36. But Adam, going into half number 2, what are the keys to the game for both the Michigan Wolverines and the Kentucky Wildcats?
For Michigan, I'd be very wary about their fouls. They really struggled getting into the bonus before the under 8 timeout, and then the double bonus not soon after. Michigan just could not keep their hands to themselves, both on offense and defense, and it really struggled for the Wolverines and allowed the Wildcats to really claw their way back into this one. I guess on the Wildcats side of play, you gotta really limit Michigan's deep ball. It doesn't seem like they're treating the 3 as a proper threat, even though Michigan has shown it as a really from 3, and that's shooting 500 or 50%, shooting 500, which is fantastic. We'll see whether Michigan can keep it up. But if I'm Kentucky, I don't want to leave them as much open space as I have. I know earlier in the season, Michigan's had some struggles from 3. Maybe they saw that film and just have been giving too much space. On offense, Kentucky's doing what it needs to do to stay in this. They're actually shooting 63% from 3, 5 for 8. Not exactly optimized for three-point shooting like the Wolverines are, but so far it's working out great for them and has kept them in this ball game even when Michigan's been having a relatively strong night from the field. Before I hand it over to Charlie with 1 minute to begin in the second half, I want to give a shout out to Manos, who's been doing some engineering for us back in the station in Ann Arbor. Really appreciate all your help both today and the past semester and beyond for the whole sports department. I say this completely honestly, we would not be able to do what we do without you. And we'd like to thank all the listeners, both over the FM airwaves and on YouTube today, as we really had a snafu with broadcasting and equipment and some of our technical side of things. We had a bit of an issue before the game, and we tried to roll with the punches, but only so much you could do this side of the Atlantic. So we appreciate you guys putting up with the audio quality, which is a little bit below what we try to hold ourselves to. With that, I'll pass it over to Charlie as the horn blows and the teams return to the court for the second half of basketball.
Thank you, Adam. I couldn't have said it better myself. Seriously, from the bottoms of our heart here at WCBN Sports, would like to thank all of our listeners at home and all of the staff of the radio station, all of the WCBN Sports staff as well. Nothing that we do here would be possible without all of your support. So from the bottoms of our heart, we thank you very, very much for that. We're just about set to go. Michigan, Kentucky, half number 2 from the O2 here in London, England. My name is Charlie Brigham, and you heard from just moments ago my very good friend Adam Bressler. It's going to be Michigan ball coming our way to start the half. Again, Kentucky holds a 37-36 lead. It's going to be Terrence Williams to inbound. Collins to apply pressure early. Inbound pass from Williams in cleanly to Llewellyn. Dribbles with the left hand opposite the Michigan bench. Gets the ball screen from Dickinson. Now goes all the way to the opposite side. Dickinson chases him along the baseline. Spinning to his right hand, now back to his left. Dickinson's floater hits every part of the rim but falls out. Dickinson started very cold. Had only 2 points for pretty much all of that first half. And with about 4 minutes left, he came alive. Now sitting at 8 points. Pass to the wing. It's Collins. Now kicked up top for Wallace. Wallace swinging all the way back around, and Kentucky resets. Pass up top for Sheboy, working at the top of the key. Dribble handoff for Reeves, driving downhill with the right hand, and again kicked out. Shot clock down to 2 seconds. Putting up a floater as it goes, it's Wallace. The second shot clock buzzer beater that Kentucky's had today, and they're extended their lead to 3 points. 39-36 with 19 minutes left to play here at the O2. Dickinson handoff to Kobe Buffkin. Now he hands off to Jet Howard. Howard dribbles with the left hand, fakes the pass inside. Kick out. Terrence Williams for 3 off the back iron. Loose ball. Llewellyn tried to grab it, but Wallace pulls it out of his hands. Wallace now working in front of his own bench. Swung up top to Wheeler. Lob pass inside for Sheboy, and there's going to be a foul call, and it's going to be on Terrence Williams the second.
Terrence Williams the second. His first. Team's first.
That one, T-Will's first. And the first foul of the half. Michigan was in foul trouble early. Put Kentucky in the bonus with pretty much most of the first half to go. As Reeves gets it inside and then gets it right back. Kobe Buffkin pulls down the rebound. He's out and running. Up the left side in transition is Buffkin. Driving inside. Puts it up and it's blocked. Wallace got all of that one. And it is all things Wildcats right now with 18:28 to play. It's going to be Llewellyn to inbound. Kobe Buffkin has looked fantastic so far for Michigan, but just unable to find the bottom of the bucket there. Speaking of Buffkin, he gets it back, and there's a quick whistle. It's going to be a hold called. This one on Reeves.
That's his first. Team's first.
First team foul, first personal foul for Reeves. 23 seconds still left on the shot clock. Llewellyn underneath, trying to inbound. Jet Howard coming off of 2 screens, gets it. Quick catch and shoot from the corner, off the back iron, won't go. Pulling down the rebound is Sheboy. He's going to pass it up to Wheeler in transition. Wheeler, nice right to left cross, drives baseline, kicks to the corner, 3 ball, and it'll go. Cason Wallace, why not? Make it 8 points for Wallace and make it a 6-point Kentucky lead, 42-36 here. Llewellyn gets a fake ball screen from Jet Howard, puts up the three, and he's fouled. Wallace caught his hand. Wasn't expecting the quick release of Jet Howard and had to adjust late. That's going to be Wallace's first personal foul, team's second foul, and this is going to be the second time today that Jet Howard goes to the line to shoot 3 free throws.
At the line for Michigan, number 13, Jet Howard.
That's the type of call Howard was looking for on Tuesday night. First shot's up, no good. Michigan down by 2 against the third-ranked Virginia team. Gets a rebound with under 10 seconds left. Gives it to Howard. Puts up a shot. Second shot, no good either. And on Tuesday night, Howard unable to get that foul call. It was just a very clean block. First 2 shots are up. Third one is up. That one finally lands. Colorful commentary from it says, you could build a house with that many bricks. Gotta love UK fandom.
Wallace for 3 again, and why not? He has been red hot this half. He's got a team-high 11 points, and he's a perfect 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. 45-37, the biggest lead for Kentucky so far today. Llewellyn working opposite the Michigan bench, gets a ball screen from Dickinson, driving downhill, dishes it off. Dickinson down low, up through contact, and it's good. Dickinson throwing his body around there to push Sheboy out of the way. Wheeler driving middle, kick away, pass, stolen by Jet Howard, working in transition. Euro step, fighting through contact, his layup too hard. He wanted the foul call, but he won't get it. The referee is letting him play here in London. The red hot hand of Wallace with the ball up top, working one-on-one against Kobe Buffkin. 2 dribbles over with the right, now kick back pass with the left up to the top of the key. Wallace swings to Collins. Collins now inside. It's Sheboy trying to get around Dickinson. Pass back up top for Wallace now. Driving with the right hand, gets inside. Kick to the corner. That ball in and out. Collins was looking for a 3 of his own, but he couldn't find the bottom of the net. Kobe Buffkin driving downhill with the left. Kick to the corner. Terrence Williams drives. Hunter Dickinson's going to pull up a 3, and he gets it to go. We saw him trying to add that to his game at the end of last season. He's tried it a few times so far this year, but to little success. Finds one to go there. 45-42, the Kentucky lead cut to just 3. Kick, Sheboy, short pull-up jumper from the corner, and he gets it to go. Just like that, the lead's back to 5. 47-42, Wildcats out in front. 15:40 left to play. Dickinson, again, why not another 3 ball? That one off the back iron. Kentucky pushing up in transition. It's Wheeler. Wheeler, lob pass. Getting it to go is Reeves. That one wanted the alley-oop slam, decided to try to lay it in, and it spun around the rim for a few extra seconds. Everyone in the stadium was on edge. Llewellyn dribbles it over to Coach Juwan Howard, who calls timeout. It's a 7-point lead for the Wildcats. 49-42, the score here in London.
Kentucky's just getting hot, both from 3 and on their layups. As we go into this timeout now, got some familiar faces joining the court. Looks like it's 2 of the Howard's Herds, famous from Ann Arbor. They made the flight on out. I didn't know you could bring livestock internationally, but 2 of them are shooting them, doing a contest here. Wolverines trailing by the most they have all game, 7 points now. They need to change something, or else this is going to become quickly out of reach.
Introduce yourself quickly for me. Danny has a call of Howard's Herd have been told. So, is there any more Michigan Howard's Herd in the building?
As we hear some calls for more of Howard's Herd from the PA announcer. Again, would like to thank you all for listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan basketball live here from the O2 Arena in London, England.
So,
Again, none of our coverage here across the pond or really anywhere throughout the U.S. would be possible without you all at home. So we'd like to thank you all for listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan basketball. Live here on YouTube and also locally on 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor. And also if you're interested in Michigan women's basketball coverage, make sure to head over to our second channel, WCBN Sports 2 on YouTube, where my good friend Matthew Levy is leading the way as Michigan women's basketball team faces off against the Northwestern Wildcats.
Got to give props to the Hall of Fame for organizing this one. They did a great job to get the fans loud for an American collegiate basketball matchup. A lot of fans in attendance, and I'm curious, this is not something we'd be able to find out pretty easily, but do you think most of the fans here are American fans who traveled across the pond to see their teams play? Or they may be British residents who lived in England now, but maybe attended college in the United States? I don't know. I'd probably lean with the latter, but maybe a lot of American fans who always wanted to see England decided to use this as an opportunity and an excuse to make the trip.
I would have to say that a majority are British, as we actually just get the attendance numbers now. 8,242 people in attendance here at the O2, just under half its capacity. I would be absolutely shocked if 4,000 people came across the pond to watch this game today. Back in the action, Llewellyn, dribble handoff with Dickinson up top, trying to get it to Jet Howard, can't. Finds Llewellyn now. 10 seconds left in the shot clock. Llewellyn kick to the corner, tipped out of bounds. It'll stay Michigan ball. Pass intended for Jet Howard, but Wallace right there to poke it away. And there's another timeout called. This one going to be charged to Michigan. So the clock ticks down by about 3 seconds. It's down to 15:01. Kentucky still out in front. The score here at the O2, 49-42.
Got another timeout. We had the under 16 in that second half, and then now we have, this one's going to be charged on Michigan, I believe. Wise decision from Coach Howard, not only to maintain possession, only 10 seconds on the shot clock, and draw something up, but also this game is very close to slipping away. We're looking at the game trends. Kentucky has 4 of their last 5 from the field, while the Wolverines have really struggled to match that pace. It's tough to match 4 of the last 5, especially when 2 of them were from beyond the arc. Kentucky leading by 7, and without any quick changes now, it'll quickly get out of hands for the Wolverines. So not only could you draw up a play for this possession, but you could also talk about some longer-term game strategies to close out this game successfully. I'm wondering if Michigan might want to start instituting full-court press here late in this one. We saw it on Tuesday as a potential strategy against the 3rd-ranked Virginia. I don't know if it'll work quite the same with Kentucky because they're a little bit of a different composed team in terms of their size and how they like to distribute the ball, but it could be an idea just to mix things up.
If I'm Kentucky here, I am just going to feed Oscar Tshiebwe down low. He's been pretty much unstoppable. I mean, Hunter Dickinson's been one of the premier interior defenders in the Big Ten for going on 3 years now. And Tshiebwe has pretty much done whatever he's wanted to do all game long. 13 points and 9 rebounds for Tshiebwe. On the side of Michigan, Hunter Dickinson, things have been starting to click. He couldn't find the bottom of the bucket for quite a while. Only 2 points for a majority of the first half. Now up to a team-high 13. But the deep ball's been falling for Michigan today. 6 of 13 for just under 50%. One of the better shooting days they've had really all year. And it's really come when getting guys open looks. Catch and shoot threes in the corner has been fantastic. I think Kobe Buffkin, Jet Howard, they've got most of their best looks. You know, they've got some good balance. They've got a good quick step to blow by their defenders and get to the rim, but it's been catching and shooting. Just a quick release from Jet Howard that's really gotten things going. 49-42. Speaking of Jet Howard, it's going to be him to inbound right here on this near side. He's got 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Quick stoppage play to wipe up some sweat. Coach Howard getting involved as well, taking his time to wipe up some sweat, making things get going. Jet Howard to inbound. 10 seconds on the shot clock. In cleanly to Llewellyn. Working up top. Pass. Kobe Buffkin driving inside. Fighting through contact. He's fouled, and he'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's going to be Reeves called with the foul. Reeves holding his hand straight up in the air, but referee not fooled. He caught Buffkin across the chin. This one will be Buffkin's second trip to the free throw line today. He's a perfect 2 for 2 so far. First one from Buffkin, up and good. That puts him up into double digits. 10 points for him, 3 of 3 from the line. Buffkin's second, up and drops it. Nothing but net. 5-point lead now for Kentucky, 49-44. Michigan coming out in a bit of a 2-3 zone. Nice little change of pace for Michigan. Bounce pass. Kick to the corner. Sheboy from the short corner won't go. Terrence Williams, the second, pulls down the rebound. And T-Will is listed as a forward, but he can definitely get up and down the floor with the dribble. Pass up top. Dickinson, one dribble with the right hand. Kicks to Buffkin. Buffkin driving down right. Left-handed floater won't go. Dickinson pulls down the rebound, and he's fouled. Sheboy was right there to contest the Buffkin floater and did a great job of doing so, but Dickinson able to pull down the rebound, and he was hit across the face, and he'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Michigan went 2 for 2 on the last trip to the line. Dickinson looking to continue. First one's up, and it's good. Quietly bringing the lead back within 4 points. Very intrigued you mentioned the 2-3 zone they had. Just changing up the pace. Not quite what I would have expected against this style of Kentucky team, but it's at least changing things up. Hoping to maybe catch the Wildcats sleeping.
Michigan has now come out in a 1-2-2 full court press. Kentucky barely beating it, and just as I say that, they throw it away. Terrence Williams will get credit for the steal, and Michigan now with a possession chance to tie it. Llewellyn dribbling to the short corner with the left hand, driving downhill, kick out pass. Dickinson showed his shot, now driving inside. Spinning back to his right hand, puts up a shot, won't go. Tipped out of bounds, and it's going to be called Kentucky basketball. Dickinson trying to plead his case that it went off the Wildcats. I'm going to show the replay up here on the screen. But meanwhile, Kentucky will bring it up in transition. That call could have gone either way. Wheeler working up top, kickback pass. Toppin for a pull-up jumper near the top of the key. It won't go, but Kentucky pulls down the rebound. Nice rebound there from Wallace. That one his 6th. Wheeler downhill hard with the left hand. A little bit of a push off, but no call. Kickback driving baseline, and they're going to say he stepped out. It was Reeves driving downhill hard with the left hand. Jet Howard doing a nice job just keeping his body wide and forcing him out of bounds with no foul call. Frederick will check in for the Wildcats. He'll send Reeves to the bench. Michigan keeping their same 5 out there. Jet Howard passes to Hunter Dickinson and then gets it right back off a dribble handoff. Floater in the middle of the lane will go. The lead cut to just 1 now, 49-48. Kentucky still out in front, but the gap closing quickly. Pull-up jumpers and air ball off the hand of Wheeler, and Michigan gets a free possession here. That one is about as good of as a turnover. I mean, they just threw that ball right out of bounds, and now a whistle. Kentucky timeout, and Hunter Dickinson tries to pump up the crowd. Even though they're still down by 1, it seems like Michigan has all the momentum here.
Why Michigan has all the momentum. 6-0 over the last 151. Kentucky hasn't scored in the last 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Add on 2 back-to-back turnovers. I guess not back-to-back, they had one drive in between, but both the steal and then that most recent turnover, Michigan has completely dominated since calling that timeout and making those adjustments and getting the momentum change. Got a little bit of a "Let's Go Blue" chant breaking out here in the O2 Arena. You can kind of hear it. Very interesting facility they've got. It's the 9th largest venue in the world by volume, not by seats, definitely not by seats. They have a capacity of barely over 20,000. So many college stadiums in the U.S. are bigger than that.
Kentucky coming out in a full court press following their 2 turnovers. Llewellyn breaks it easily with the dribble. Pass up in transition to Buffkin. Now Terrence Williams gets it back. Kicks to Llewellyn. Working opposite the Michigan bench. Pass inside for Dickinson. 2 dribbles with the right hand. Spinning back to the left through contact. Won't go. Gets his own rebound. Puts it up and in. Michigan back out in front. 50-49. The big man's got 15. It's going to be Wheeler up top working against Llewellyn. Kick over to Wallace. He had the hot hand earlier. He's 3 of 3 from downtown for 11 points. Toppin driving to the middle lane. His pull-up jumper won't go, but Wallace pulls down the rebound. Back to Toppin. Floater won't go. Dickinson tries to tip it away. Inside, putting up the left-handed layup. It's Oyenso, and Kentucky takes the lead back. A long possession there. Kentucky just winning the rebounding battle. And it turns into points. 51-50 the score. 12 minutes left to play in the ball game. Pass to Dickinson inside. Ripping baseline. Going up with the left. Lots of contact, but the shot won't go. Dickinson still on the floor. Now he gets up. Terrence Williams from the corner. His shot goes long. The refs here in London have been letting the big men play down low. It's been all sorts of contact on pretty much every driving attempt. Toppin from the short corner over Terrence Williams the second, and it'll go. Still a 1-possession game, but the lead back up to 3 for Kentucky. 53-50 here with 11.5 minutes to play. It's going to be Llewellyn to bring it up in transition, hand off to Buffkin. Dribbling over in front of his own bench, now back to his left hand. Downhill, loses it, gets his dribble back, pass to Jet Howard. Over to Terrence Williams the second, driving downhill. 7 seconds left in the shot clock. Now pass back to Howard, to the logo. Inside, Dickinson going to his left. Up at the shot clock, and it'll go. 53-52. Again, this game has been back and forth. Wildcats still out front by 1. Michigan trying to claw their way back. 10:45 to play in the half. Handoff, Wallace, now back to Wheeler. Kentucky just trying to burn a bit of clock. Pass over to Wallace, now inside for Toppin, working one-on-one against Terrence Williams. Dribbles with the left hand, he's going to be called for a foul. Terrence Williams caught him from behind.
Into the under 12 timeout here. This looks like it's going to be a neck and neck game once again. We've seen Michigan in the past couple and then lost by 2 against Virginia on Tuesday. If this trajectory holds, we'll be in for another close one. Michigan eventually able to win against Ohio, but lose against the 3rd-ranked Virginia. Gonna be tough to see what happens here, but Michigan would have a good case to join the rankings once again if they are able to pull out this dub across the pond against Kentucky. Playing it close against Virginia, losing by 2, and then beating a ranked 19th ranked Wildcats team might be enough to move them up into the top 25 in the AP rankings. Gonna be a real tough one as Michigan prepares to begin Big Ten play. Going to Minneapolis, I believe, on Thursday, so they get almost no rest. They had a Tuesday night game at 9:30 p.m. And they flew out the next morning to London. We'll get back tomorrow, and then they go to Minneapolis. So I know students have exams, but it's going to be tough for the student athletes to focus on the court.
Adam, you were asking if the fans here are a majority locals or from across the pond, as they have two young fans out there asking trivia questions. The two questions they asked were, what is Michigan's mascot and what is Kentucky's mascot? Only question they were able to answer is how long is each half, so I think that answers your question.
Certainly. People like the games. They don't care about the teams. I think there might have been a bit of a selection there that shows two youngsters without gear of either team, so you know they were not hugely committed to either of the fan bases here. But that's always a fun game. I'm curious if they asked anyone in attendance who aren't from the United States to name the four teams that made the college football playoff, you probably wouldn't get anyone. Ask any British folks. They probably don't even know what CFP stands for. It's going to be big. Michigan making it for the second year in a row. Huge for the Big Ten. I believe this is the first time they've had two teams in the same season. Did that happen when Michigan State made it? I don't believe so. We'll check on that. But regardless, it's a great opportunity here for the Big Ten as they get their two biggest programs both making the college football playoff tournament before it expands to more teams in the coming years.
It'll be Kentucky basketball underneath the hoop. Pass barely gets into Wheeler just as the 5-second mark ticks over. Up top to Fredrickson. Now Wheeler gets it right back. Bounce pass inside to a cutting Wallace. Lobbed and slammed home. Topping out of nowhere. Toppin's only got 6 points, but they have been a loud 6. Quick whistle. That's going to be a foul call. Dickinson wanted the continuation, but they're going to say it's on the floor. As they show the replay there, Wallace up to Toppin. An athletic performance. Anyone familiar with college basketball or NBA basketball will recognize his brother Obi Toppin, player of the year a few years ago, now playing for the New York Knicks. Joey Baker has entered this ball game for Michigan. Pass inside for Dickinson. Nice floater with the left hand. A nice touch around the rim for the big man in the lead. Back again, cut to just one. 55-54, Kentucky out in front. Wheeler up top. Kick to the corner for Wallace. Showed his shot, got Howard in the air, but elected not to pull it up. Gets inside, kick back out. Toppin driving baseline on Hunter Dickinson. He's fouled. Layup up and in. Toppin now with 10 points, a chance to make it 11 as he heads to the free throw line. I'm going to say Dickinson caught him on the arm. If there was any contact, it was very little. Isaiah Barnes checks in for Jet Howard. Barnes was the hot hand early in the first half for Michigan. Came in, hit 2 threes back-to-back. Is since to put up a shot. And Toppin misses the free throw, so this is still a one-possession ball game. 57-54 with 9:38 left to play in the game. Llewellyn dribbling with the right hand. Kick to the corner. Barnes had his shot, decided to put it on the ground, then he stepped out of bounds anyway. It's going to be a turnover in Kentucky basketball, and it'll go the other way. The aforementioned Toppin to inbound. Dickinson takes a quick break over there on the bench as Terrace Reed Jr. takes his place. Wheeler, kick outside. Toppin showed his shot, now kicks to the corner for Wallace, who almost stepped out of bounds. Bounce pass inside. Toppin working one-on-one against Will Cheddar. Kick out. Frederick for 3. Hits every part of the rim and finally falls. Shooter's touch. And the Kentucky lead is extended to 6, 60-54. The Wildcat fans here in the O2 are on their feet. Cheddar kick to the corner for Isaiah Barnes, who passes back up top for Llewellyn. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Llewellyn driving downhill, puts up an awkward shot, but he was fouled. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Llewellyn yet to get up. He's holding his left knee. The trainer called over right away. That's not a sign you like to see. Llewellyn covering his face with one hand, holding his left knee with the other.
Not at all. And that's going to be an official timeout for the injury. He is still on the ground in pain. You got assistant coach Martelli made the journey over talking to one of the referees. It's a familiar face for Wolverines fans as he took over as head coach for a couple games last season when Coach Howard was suspended after getting into an altercation in Madison, Wisconsin. Seeing this replay, it does not look good. Instantly grabbing his knee. The Wildcats are sneakily 5 of their last 5 from the field. Most of that came after they called a timeout too. So called a timeout, able to adjust their own game plan just like Michigan did minutes prior. And that worked out really well for the Wildcats. For those just tuning in, we are at a injury timeout here for a Michigan player. He is still on the court. No longer grabbing his knee as he gets out to his feet with some help. Fans of both teams are applauding that. Great sportsmanship there, but not good for the Wolverines. Llewellyn's been a key part of the offense so far this season. And it looks like he'll be out for at least the remainder of this game, if not later.
Yeah, it was an awkward fall. He went up off 2, was hit in the air, and fell on his right leg. His left leg hadn't touched the ground, but even as his right leg hit the ground, he was holding that left knee. So potentially a non-contact injury, nothing you ever like to see. But he was fouled while shooting, so Michigan will go to the line and shoot 2. Kentucky has chosen Terrence Reed Jr. to shoot 2.
Terrence Reed Jr. shooting 2.
6-point lead for Kentucky. Reed Jr.'s first free throw off the back iron. Doug McDaniel's the one who's checked in for Llewellyn. Reed Jr.'s second free throw, up and rattles in. 5-point lead now for the Wildcats, 60-55, 8:37 left to play. Wheeler bringing it up in transition. Doug McDaniel applying all sorts of pressure up at the top of the key. Pass to Frederick, guarded by Joey Baker. Back up top, Wheeler. Again, McDaniel guarding him closely. Driving downhill is Wallace. Has it poked away. Toppin kicks it to the corner to Wheeler. Just punched it over there, trying to get something going. Wheeler drives downhill, spins through traffic, got away with a travel call, but his layup won't go anyway. It'll be Jet Howard to bring it up in transition. We'll swing up top now to Doug McDaniel right there on the logo. 8 minutes left to play. Michigan down by 5. McDaniel taking his time. Deep 3, and it goes! Doug McDaniel, the freshman from D.C., pulls Michigan within 2. Frederick kicks to the corner for Toppin. Working one-on-one against Will Cheddar. Driving downhill. Lob pass up top. That's going to go over and back. That's another turnover for Kentucky. Michigan gets it back with a chance to tie it. That's going to be a timeout, Kentucky. 7:34 left to play. The Wildcats lead by 2 as they show that replay. A fantastic move by Doug McDaniel.
So 7:34 remaining. Michigan is getting their mojo back after that very very scary injury. We'll keep you updated on that. Coming from the freshman, McDaniel, sitting at 5'11", 160. Built kind of like a twig, but able to make that three and put it in and give a spark of energy to this Wolverine offense. Wildcats leading by 2, but they have slowed down a little bit. I think that timeout man took some of the momentum out of the offense. We got a bongo cam here in the O2 arena. Fans aren't really getting into this. I don't know if bongos are a big thing in the United Kingdom. After a little bit of hand-holding, they have started to do it, but still not really getting into it. They don't understand the appeal. Okay, that fan gets into it. He must be an American. For those just tuning in, we still have 7 minutes, 34 seconds remaining in this game. Michigan trailing only by 2. As the Wolverines are keeping it close with the number 19 team in the nation.
Yeah, the one thing that really got the crowd going was the announcement that England is currently up 1-0 in their World Cup game with a chance to advance to the next round. Again, 7:34 left to play. Kentucky holds a 2-point lead. It's 60-58. And Adam, even though Kentucky holds the lead, it seems like somehow Michigan still holds the momentum. It's been back and forth all game like crazy. But after every Kentucky turnover, it seems like this Michigan bench is just pouring every ounce of energy they have onto the court. The whistle sounds. Both teams break their timeout huddle. It's going to be Michigan ball coming out of the timeout. Kobe Buffkin, the first Wolverine to step out onto the floor. So no substitutions made since the timeout. On the floor for Michigan, Doug McDaniel, Joey Baker, Hunter Dickinson, Jet Howard, and Kobe Buffkin. Baker to inbound, gets it in cleanly to Doug McDaniel, working opposite the Michigan bench on the left wing. Driving downhill, pull-up jumper won't go, off the front of the rim and then off the back. Wheeler now up in transition, working one-on-one against McDaniel. 20 seconds left in the shot clock, 7:15 left to play in the ballgame. Kick to the corner for Reeves, lob pass inside. Shibwe can't get a shot off against Dickinson. Over to Wheeler, driving downhill up with the right hand, and it goes. Wheeler beats McDaniel off the bounce and extends the Wildcat lead to 4. Joey Baker with the ball up top. Swung back to McDaniel, who gives it up to Kobe Buffkin, who has rotated to the top of the key. Calls for a ball screen. Hesitation dribble. Snaking in and out on the defense. Pull-up jumper from the middle of the lane. And each time down the floor. Wheeler, middle of the lane. Kick back. It's Reeves driving downhill, kick to Toppin towards the middle of the lane with the left hand. Wheeler catches it, and now he'll step back out towards the logo. Under 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Kentucky taking as much time as they can. Wheeler downhill against Baker. An awkward shot won't go, and Dickinson pulls down the rebound. Baker to push in transition, handoff, Doug McDaniel. Under 6 minutes to play. Kentucky still holds a 62-58 lead. Jet Howard now with the ball, standing right on that Basketball Hall of Fame logo. Left to right cross. Pull up three, top of the key, off the left side of the rim. Toppin pulls down the rebound. He'll hand it off to Wheeler. Kentucky, 6 of their last 8 from the floor. Michigan hasn't scored in the last 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Toppin swings around the horn for Wallace. He got hot early, has cooled off since. Reeves working one-on-one against Joey Baker. Kicks up top. Shebue driving on Dickinson. Spinning back, and it's going to be poked out of bounds. They're going to say it was last touched by Dickinson. And it's going to stay Kentucky basketball. Joey Baker will check out. Terrence Williams II will make his way into the ball game. Kentucky's got 4 seconds on the shot clock to get one off. It's Reeves to inbound. Gets it into Wheeler against Doug McDaniel. Getting all the way to the middle of the lane. Floater with the left hand won't go. There's a whistle. And they're going to say it's a foul called on Jet Howard. And Howard cannot believe it. They show Dickinson up there on the broadcast cam. As you can read his lips, he says, that one's soft. And the replay confirms that if there was any contact, it was very minimal. It'll be Wheeler to shoot free throws. He knocks down the first one. He had an ugly pair from the line to start the ball game, going 0 for 2. He's since found his touch. Second one drops down as well. So from 0 for 2 to 2 for 2, he's now 50% from the line. 6-point lead for Kentucky. Bufkin driving towards the middle of the lane, downhill. Kick out, Terrence Williams II, inside now. Handoff to Dickinson, won't go, loose ball. McDaniel tried to pull it down. He stepped out of bounds, but the referees don't call it. Kentucky in transition, this could be a huge swing. The three from Reeves won't go. Wallace pulls down the rebound, and now things will settle back down. That was a very close call on this near sideline. Kentucky got away with one. Under 10 seconds left in the shot clock. Wheeler up top, working against McDaniel. Left to right cross, loses his dribble, trying to get inside, puts up a shot at the shot clock buzzer, and it goes! 8-point lead for Kentucky. McDaniel dribbles it over, calls timeout right in front of Coach Howard, who immediately goes to the referee to talk about that missed baseline call.
Yeah, there were 2 questionable calls in a row. First was a foul on Jet Howard. There were some contact, but I don't think it was enough to suffice for a foul. Coach Howard was not happy that his son was called on that one. Then secondly, as you mentioned, whether Kentucky stepped out of bounds or not on the baseline was awfully close, but I think he did. No call at the time, and they since got 4 more points after that. So Kentucky now leading by 8. It's going to be tough for Michigan to come back with only 4 minutes, 19 seconds remaining in this one. I guess the idea was to just stop the momentum. Michigan was 0 in their last 4, had a scoring drought of 3:34 seconds, while Kentucky was a 6-0 run. So just even calling the timeout to maybe talk with the referee, see what's going on, and potentially make one, if any, adjustment. That's what you need to do. No matter if you're in the U.S. or in the U.K., free t-shirts at any sporting event will get fans going. They're probably the loudest they've been all day. But we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in and listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan basketball live here on YouTube internationally and locally at 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor. We'd like to thank you all. None of our coverage would be possible, and we'd like to thank, again, Mono specifically for doing things on the engineering end back in the WCBN station. Again, our deepest thanks stretch out to him. So 4:19 left to play. The stage is set. Number 19 ranked Kentucky leads Michigan 66-58. Kentucky survives here. They'd stay in the top 25. Michigan, if they were able to knock Kentucky out, could potentially start to sneak in towards the bottom of the top 25. They had a very, very close game against a very good team in number 3 ranked Virginia, and a win over a top 25 team might be enough to push them into the top 25 with a record of 6-3. Again, one of those losses coming against a top 3 team in Virginia. The horn sounds. It'll be both teams to break their timeout huddles. It's going to be Michigan ball on the half court.
So looking at the stats, Kentucky has been phenomenal this half, shooting 43% from the floor this half, 63% from three so far in this last 20 minutes. On the floor for Michigan, it's McDaniel, Dickinson, Bufkin, Williams II, and Jet Howard. And on the floor for Kentucky, Wheeler, Reeves, Wallace, Sheboy, and Toppin rounding out that five. Everyone on the floor for Kentucky right now is scored in double digits. McDaniel dribbles over, bounce pass inside for Dickinson, but a whistle first. Sheboy is going to be called for a hold. That one's going to be his fourth foul.
That's his fourth. Team foul number 7 against Kentucky.
So 4 fouls on Oscar Sheboy, but maybe more importantly, 7 fouls for Kentucky. Michigan is now in the bonus. Next common foul, they'll shoot a 1-and-1. Dickinson's shooting foul, or correction, that was the 1-and-1. First of, Hunter Dickinson unable to find the bottom of the basket there. So Kentucky out and running. 66-58. Pass up top for Wallace, guarded closely by Bufkin. Bufkin pokes it away. Grabbing it on the run. Fighting through contact, layup won't go. Jet Howard following and puts it home. Kobe Bufkin has been phenomenal all game long, trying to keep his team in it. That one, his third steal. Pass up top, Wallace working one-on-one against Bufkin. Keeping that ball way back by his hip as to not let Kobe Bufkin anywhere near it. And there's a quick whistle. That was one on Doug McDaniel. Tried to jump in front of the dribble lane, and he catches Wheeler. It's McDaniel's second. Michigan still has 2 fouls to give. But that's going to reset the shot clock down from 6 seconds back up to 20. It'll be Kentucky to inbound in front of their own bench. It's Wallace in cleanly to Wheeler. Bufkin guarding the ball up top. Now switching off. Michigan in a bit of a 2-3 zone. Short cornered pull-up jumper from Toppin won't go. Dickinson with a rebound. Hunter Dickinson now, 8 rebounds on the day. McDaniel driving to the middle of the lane. Floater with the right hand, and it goes. 8-point lead cut in half, 66-62. 3 minutes to play in Kentucky. Calls a timeout.
Michigan getting the momentum back, ending a 3.5-minute scoring drought to get 2 straight points in the basket. Would have had even more, but Dickinson once again showing some woes from the free throw line. Had the 1-and-1 opportunity and missed the first one. Michigan is in the bonus already though. Kentucky has 7 fouls. That could be key to getting Michigan out of this deficit, or at least a final leg of getting out of this deficit as they go and try to close off this broadcast, or close off this game, trailing by 4 with 2 minutes, 55 seconds remaining.
Michigan wasting no time stepping back out there on the court. Kentucky was still well in their timeout huddle, but the Wolverines are ready to play. It's going to be Kentucky ball right in front of their own bench. Just under 3 minutes left. 2:55 left to play. If you're just tuning in, this game's been back and forth all day. Kentucky's led by as much as 9. Their lead currently sitting at only 4. Bufkin up top, guarding the ball. Williams comes over to contest the shot. Wallace's floater won't go. Rebound, pulled down. Toppin puts it back up and in. McDaniel to bring it up in full court. Gets a screen from Dickinson, now a screen from Williams II. Kick up top for Jet Howard. Puts it immediately on the ground. Spinning back to his right hand. Toppin applying pressure. Jet Howard. Little razzle-dazzle inside. Floater off the glass. What a bucket from the freshman. That's an NBA caliber possession from Jet Howard. Showing off all the tricks in his bag. 68 to 64. Toppin driving downhill on Kobe Bufkin, and it's a charge call. Bufkin stepped well in front of that one, putting his body on the line. The team's 8th foul for the Wildcats as they show the replay there. Buffkin might have been moving, but Toppin just ran him over. As the boos from the crowd start to reveal the majority that it's Kentucky fans here at the O2. Buffkin lob pass inside for Terrence Williams II. Now inside for Dickinson. Spinning baseline. Up at the left hand and puts it in. Lead cut to 2. 68-66 in Kentucky. Gonna call another timeout. 1:34 to play.
Michigan within 2, 68-66. And the Wolverines are making the Wildcats work for this one. They are not giving up without much of a fight, forcing Kentucky to call a timeout. We've seen this all afternoon. After each and every timeout, it seems like the momentum flips on its head. It could be Michigan on a 6-0 run. Call a timeout, Kentucky gets the momentum right back. Then another timeout, we get the momentum. Both teams are playing so streaky, that's the way it's going to go. And I have a feeling that the team with the last possession is going to win this game, just the way it's been shaping up.
It seems cliche to say that basketball is a game of runs, but if any game has proved it, it's this one. Kentucky again is led by as much as 9. Their lead has been cut to 2. Michigan, 4 of their last 4 from the floor. And Adam, I'd have to agree with you. It seems like whoever comes down with the last possession is going to win this ball game. It's going to be Kentucky ball coming out of this timeout. They were the ones who called it. So their ball in the half court. And again, as we tick over to the 3 o'clock hour in Greenwich time, we'd like to thank you all for tuning in to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan basketball live here on YouTube, as well as live on 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor. Thank you to all our listeners internationally and back home in the States. If you're also interested in Michigan women's basketball coverage, make sure to tune on over to WCBN Sports 2, where our Cruz is covering the Big Ten home opener. Wheeler up top, driving downhill, and it's going to be Buffkin calling for a quick whistle. That one's not a call that either team has gotten all day long.
Team foul number 6 against the Wolverines.
So 1:27 left to play. Michigan now 1 foul away from putting Kentucky in the bonus. Those of you who are curious, the Michigan women's team is up by 2, 36-34 over the Wildcats. Driving baseline, Toppin, blocked by Dickinson. Toppin gets it right back, up to Wheeler, swung all the way around the key. 3 ball, why not? 4 for 4 from downtown from Kaysen Wallace. 71-66, Wallace is shooting the lights out. McDaniel trying to get something going. Handoff, Jet Howard. Ball screen from Dickinson. Sidestep 3 from Jet Howard, won't go. Loose ball, pulling it down is Sheboy. Under a minute to play, it's a 5-point ball game. Michigan needs a stop and a score, and then they're likely going to start fouling. And here comes McDaniel, who's going to put Kentucky on the line. You want to talk about a difference maker in this ball game? How about Kaysen Wallace? 4 for 4 from downtown for 12 of his 14 points as the Go Big Blue chants start throughout the O2. Wallace well above his average of 10.5 points a game as Wheeler misses the free throw. Jet Howard coming down in transition with under 40 seconds left to play. McDaniel getting all the way inside. His layup won't go. And Dickinson tried to foul. They didn't give him the call. And now it's Jet Howard who fouls. Toppin hit the ground hard. Flopped a bit and rolled into the Kentucky bench, but it'll just be a common foul. He'll go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1. So Toppin with a chance to really put it out of reach. 71-66 is the score here at the O2. And there's 29 seconds left to play. Again, it'll be Toppin to shoot a 1-and-1. His first free throw attempt, up and good. 6-point ball game now. Currently a 2-possession ball game. Toppin, free throw, rolls in. That makes the lead 7. Kentucky applying pressure. Doug McDaniel bringing it up in transition. Taking a lot of time. Handoff Jet Howard. Left to right cross. Kick back. Kick to the top of the key. Hunter Dickinson for 3. Won't go. Kentucky pulls down the rebound. And now they're just going to dribble it out. Michigan's going to let it. Oh, there's a whistle quickly. Looked like the referees in Michigan were just going to let them play. But it'll be Kentucky. They go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1. They've got a 7-point lead with 13 seconds left. Game's been all about who gets hot. And I don't think there's been a hotter hand in the gym than Cason Wallins today. 14 points, 5 of 8 from the floor, but 4 of 4 from where it matters, beyond the arc. Wheeler's first free throw won't go. Jet Howard to bring it up in transition. Gonna have to get a quick one. Deep 3, falls for Michigan. And now, all of a sudden, this game potentially back within reach. Michigan calls timeout. A 4-point ball game with 7.4 seconds left.
It's still incredibly unlikely. 7 seconds, down 4 points. Not only do you need a 3, you need a foul or something, or a turnover. Michigan using their final timeout right there to stop the clock. Obviously, Kentucky's going to try and just evade any fouls and burn as much clock as they can. And if they do go to the line, a single point essentially ends it. It's a long shot from the Wolverines, but it's not quite over just yet.
Should be noted that the Wildcats have fouled Jet Howard shooting threes twice today. 2 separate occasions, once in the first half, once in the second. They've caught Jet Howard on the way up and sent him to the line from beyond the arc. So not out of the question, but it's really going to come down to these free throws here. If Kentucky can knock them both down, they put this one on ice. And realistically, if they can even hit one, they put this game on ice. Precedent scenario for Michigan now. They get fouled shooting a 3, make it, miss the free throw, and then somehow get a putback. Again, as Adam said, not very likely, but the way this game's been going, you never know. 7.4 seconds left. Again, would like to thank you all for tuning in to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan basketball live here on YouTube, as well as on 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor. So it's going to be Kentucky ball on the full court. Jet Howard already right there to apply full court pressure as he has a quick word with the referee. It'll be Wheeler to inbound. It is key for Kentucky to get this ball inbounds here. Wheeler running the baseline, trying to get it inbounds, gets it into Wallace, and he's fouled immediately. It's going to be Doug McDaniel charged with the foul. So if there's anybody you want shooting these free throws right now, it's probably Wallace. He hasn't shot one yet today, but the way he's been shooting the ball from deep, as some more Go Big Blue chants start to ring throughout the O2. So with that one, McDaniel fouls out. It's going to be Joey Baker to check in for Doug McDaniel. 6.3 seconds left. Neither team has any timeouts. Kentucky in the double bonus, so Wallace is going to shoot 2. Misses the first. Four-point game, 6.3 seconds left. Wallace, second free throw. Misses. Jet Howard going to push up in transition. Going to have to get a quick one. Pulls up from 3. Left way short. That's going to do it from the 0-2. Kentucky 73. Michigan 69. But Adam, what a game it was. It was back and forth for the entire 40 minutes, but eventually the number 19 ranked Wildcats survived. I should say, not for lack of trying, Coach Howard and the Wolverines put up quite a fight. That is back-to-back games against ranked teams where Michigan has just looked fantastic.
Yes, Michigan unable to get a win either against the number 3 ranked Virginia Cavaliers, unable to get a win against the 19th ranked Kentucky Wildcats. But both games they played till the end looked very good. But that does speak to the team's performance, that when it comes close, they're unable to finish. Beginning Big Ten play next week, that's huge for the Wolverines, going to Minneapolis, Minnesota on Thursday, playing up against the Golden Gophers, hoping to turn this season around. We know this Big Ten conference from top to bottom looks pretty incredible, to put it bluntly. This conference has the potential to do a real number on the Wolverines if they don't turn it around soon.
For Charlie Brigham and Adam Wrestler, live from across the pond. Technical difficulties made it a little bit sketchy early, but we pushed through. Again, we'd like to thank you all for tuning in, both on YouTube at WCBN Sports and on the FM airwaves at 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor. Again, none of our coverage would be possible without you all. Live from London, from one last time, Kentucky takes the win, 73-69. Signing off from Charlie Brigham and Adam Wrestler. Again, thank you all again for tuning in. It's been a great trip so far, and we'll be making our way back home tomorrow. Again, thank you all for listening to WCBN Sports. We're going to leave you like we always do here with a good night and a Go Blue.